Good day, scenario planners of our politics in this country. My name is Mletisi Ndletyana. I'm not here to speak for any political party. I'm not here to speak for no one. I'm here to speak for myself and my family. Why I want to talk about the Constitution. The architects of this Constitution are right in Parliament. We have the President who was among the people that dish out this Constitution to us. He's the one today, he's talking about amending this Constitution. The question that I would ask to you scenario planners of politics in my country, is this not a game? Because in a game theory, we have players. Because in a game theory, we have strategies. Because in a game theory, we have rewards. Is this not a game that we are playing for next year's election? Bearing in mind that you are talking to the people who are lacking education. Bear in mind that you are talking to the people who are inequal, who are ravaged by poverty. Bear in mind that you are not equal in this hall, in terms of education, in terms of economy. But the one thing that I want to say, what we have seen in this country after 2007 is when the politics of this country was played by prebendalism politicians that we have in Parliament. The question that I want to ask is here. I'm here to defend the Constitution. The Constitution that was delivered by Nelson Mandela to me. The Constitution that was delivered by Cyril Ramaphosa, who is today talking about changing the very same Constitution. What is wrong with this Constitution? Tell me, Mr. President. What is wrong with this Constitution? Because there is a land reform, there is a land question that was dished out in 2003. What is wrong with redistribution of land? Money were paid. More than 50 billion were dished out to the very same people who are close to this politician. The only thing that I want to say here to you all, ladies and gentlemen, is that stop playing prebendalism politics with our life. Because the question here is that
Thank you, sir.
the land has been given to the foreigners. Go and get that money that was given to the Guptas.
Thank you, sir.
And then we'll talk of the land thereafter. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Okay, my name is Mejinet Perego. I am representing the women in this region, young and old. I want to say, long live the leading party, long live. Long live the leading party, the leading party, long live. That is African National Congress. Na bomeli bontate.
Speaker, please address the committee.
Okay, sorry for that.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. My apology. Now, I want to say I support the land without compensation now, not later than this year when we go to 2019. This process must be finished altogether. And then yesterday in TV, I was so shocked and cried when I see in Khayelitsha the woman in her check full of water with the children. In her own province, in her own land in South Africa. He stayed in the check in Cape Town, Eastern Cape. The shacks was full of water. with the children. I was so shocked and I was so crying to see that. That's why I'm here today to say this process of land must be speed up as soon as we can. Amandla.
Next speaker.
Thank you, Chairperson. My name is Joseph Paz. I'm also domiciled here around in Velkom. Chairperson, I want to endorse the words of Minister Kukile Twinti when he praised the CIC commander of the AFF that as a vocal proponent for blacks for acquisition of land. I also support the amendment of Section 25 that we need land for our blacks so that for our youth so that they must be included in the mainstream of the economy. We also need land as blacks for industrialization. We also need land so that we must play a pivotal role within the economy of the country. When Jan van Riebeeck arrived here in 1652, his status was that of a tourist. But instead of being a tourist, he acquired land through forceful means and expropriated land from our people who were stealing the land at the time here in South Africa. I unapologetically now support also the proposition of land without compensating. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Thank you to our parliament. Thanks for coming down to the people of the Free State here, Lejeleputa. My name is Matsidiso Sukwadi. I'm here not representing any political party, but I'm just speaking on behalf of the lay people around that are being governed by our people around here. I also here, we are talking about expropriating of land without compensation. I agree with the statement that land should be distributed to everybody without compensation, because the Freedom Charter a long time ago mentioned that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, black and white. So what we need to talk about today is to make sure that we don't chase some people out of this South Africa that they are living in. We need to be living in harmony with one another. Until the farmers should also understand that the plan is not to chase them out of their farms, but the plan is for everybody to share the land, this South Africa that we are living in. That happened over some time, and maybe we made mistakes with people that were given land some time ago, our black people that were given farms, which they did not use appropriately as they were supposed to do. But we've seen our problems, we've learned from our mistakes, but we are going to correct that. We'd love also to be given land to work that land. I'm now talking on behalf of a very old man who has been living here in Tabong over 98 years. He's still going very strong, and he's a motor mechanic. That gentleman was given a little land in Tabong, which he was supposed to work on, but because of running short of funds, he couldn't develop the place. But until today, that place is still there. We stood up to try and assist, because that person happened to be my father. He is 98 years of age. There's a land somewhere in Tabong where he was working as the scrapyard. When we were supposed to get these lands that people are working on, because he is not known maybe by the people that are up front there, he has been struggling. This is, I think, the 5th or the 6th year that I started in 2012, 2013 to try and get land, get hold of the title deed about that land, because with the title deed we could have worked that land better than what it is today. But we never received that because we don't know what is happening around when people are saying the land will go to everybody, but now it goes to people that are known, not everybody. Thank you.
Do you support the expropriation or you don't?
I said when I started, I do support, but it should not go to the friends. Not only the friends should get the land that they are supposed to get. It should be everybody. Thank you very much.
Next speaker.
Re a leboha le mona. Re utlwile hantle hore na le reng. Re utlwile hantle hore na le batla eng. Ha re na pelaelo. Ke kopa hore you underline this. Ke utlwile hore na o re ke reng ka section 25 ke re e hlomathisa mobu ono o nkuwe ka ntle ho ditlhapiso ke re o mmamela hantle ke re e hlomathisa for the 3rd time, that is the last time, I'm saying yes o hlomathisa. Jwale ke le bo haholo ba reng kutlwile hore le molomo wa parliament le ditsebe tsa parliament le kutlwisiso understanding ya parliament ke ka makgetlo a mangata re a raba potso ena e le re botsang yona ka jelena since 1912 1994, one same question. The easiest. Mabawiye kumhlaba wethu. Mabawiye kumhlaba wethu. Sonwabe siphile ngoxolo sisonke. Simye dia nabulela manene ndithandile abantu kamandla.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker. Oh, okay, they request translation, interpreters. He was interpreting himself, but it's fine.
Date Lazarus Peko stood to support the amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution in order to allow for land to be expropriated without compensation. He said this question has been asked so many times before. The first time was in 1912, and the answer back then was yes. The same question was asked in 1994, and the answer back in 1994 was still a yes. So he says, in order for our country to have peace and harmony, the land must be expropriated without compensation.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Allow me just to greet the government and also with the understanding that I'm praying for you guys every day, continuously, without ceasing. For the simple reason the Bible declares, pray for your government so you may have a peaceful sleep. For those people that is governing our cities and our country, govern it in fairness. Allow me also to greet the congregation, the Rainbow Nation, in that beautiful name of our Lord Jesus Christ and Savior, with the understanding that, do we want the land or do we need the land? There's a difference between want and need. I'm not here to preach. I'm here to give my inputs to the chairperson and the government of the day. Allow me also to greet Floyd with the understanding that the reason why I took a selfie with you, Mr. Floyd, is because your leader, Mr. Malema, said it very clearly on social media that the Khoisan people welcomed everyone and they are the rightful owners of the land. But it's not about what Malema said, it's about what the history said. And also, in all fairness, Chairperson, regarding the Section 25, my concern is not what is written in Section 25. My concern is really about the history. Because how can I build a house on another man's land and claim that land and have a title deed? Stop it right there. As the rightful owners of South Africa, what we are asking to government, because when we look at years 1913, people talk about history, 1652. No, we don't talk history. We talk about the 1200s, where we were here in the site of South Africa. So what are we saying to government regarding Section 25? You need to have a discussion with the first indigenous people of South Africa regarding the land and regarding Section 25. Because we are the rightful owners of this land. So we need government to acknowledge us and not making decisions on behalf of us. But we need to be represented as you are sitting there representing different parties. I'm representing the Links Royal House. My name is Tom Alexander. I'm also a paramount chief and also a councillor because I'm cousin to the King Michael Links. Now I'm here to say to the government, please, government, as I'm praying for you regarding the fairness of this land, go back, look into the history of the Khoisan people, and please let us get representation regarding this land. Now on the question, do I say yes or no? How can I say yes or no to my land? I cannot say that. You need to discuss with me and let's talk about this. Because as Malema said, we welcomed you here. We're not saying away with everyone. What we are saying, as the first indigenous people of South Africa, we need to be consulted in everything, especially Section 25. So I said not yes, nor do I say no, because the country, the land belongs to me. And I'm saying as a Khoisan people, Chairperson, Floyd, I already got your answer, sir. I'm saying to the government, please recognize the indigenous people. And listen, before I stop, when I got back, I want to say to the whole people here, make sure, do you want the land or do you need the land? And if you make sure you need the land, make sure everyone, the poorest of the poor, must be included in that land. Thank you very much.
Time is expired. Thank you. Next speaker.
Thank you, Chairperson, to give me this time of speaking. My name is Philip Tajano from Ward 36, Nyagalongaland Ridge. I'm here to support the motion of taking the land without compensation from those who steal it from us, as it is even my political party's pillar police, that is to bring the land back to the black people. I want to say this because of, I'm farm born, I'm born in the farms. My grandfather was there in the farms and was owning a lot of animals, cattle. But he was under oppression of a white person. Who was telling him that he must always keep his animal into the kraal. He mustn't let them to go graze anywhere in the land because that land is his land. And it happened that my grandfather used to lock his animals into the kraal. And one day, these animals, they just go out of the kraal because of this man, when he have to feed his animals, my grandfather must go to buy the things of the animal from him. So that my grandfather, what he can do, because that time he was working like paying 10 rand per month. And at the end, this white man came with a big gun and shot my grandfather's animals in there. Until our parents, they don't have nothing of it today, because my grandfather, I think, if ever was still owning what was his, and he had the land for his animal to graze somewhere, I think maybe I could be someone in the university today. So I support that motion of we take the land without no compensation, because I'm happy to hear one of the speakers say that a white child, when they're still in their mother's womb, he just born when they already told that you got your own land waiting for you, that you don't know what you can do with. But there's a lot of people who are crying there or under oppression without nothing. We black people who are born, you're not being told about the land, that you want us to have no promise of where you're going with your life. So the Bible says just give Caesar what belongs to Caesar and give God what belongs to God. The white, if I don't understand, even now the chairperson, I'd like you to correct this. Next time I want to, if I will go this kind of procession, the people must talk to them, but must stay. The first thing that you must tell anybody who's come here, that don't waste your time to come here, or don't come here to participate, or whatever you see that can maybe hurt you. You better leave us before we continue. Because now we talk with the empty seat. People must talk to them, they're out. After they were outside there, tomorrow they do what we talk. They must come and they must listen. Whether he like it, you don't like it, they must come stay up till he get what he want, must understand it. I thank you about it.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Thank you, Chairperson. Githabang Mohlaka, Ward 28. Nakira ke support mabaka ka kena so. Rona, the young South African, sokola di title deed mo velko mo mona. Government ya rona ya ANC ha ka re bolella fela hore criteria ba tlo e sebedisang ho fana ka lefatshe leo ke efeng, and ke bo mang ba deservang lefatshe leo, cause ha ona nthwena ya bokgowa kapa motho e motsho, cause mona ke South Africa ya rona kaofela mona. What about bana ba batho ba hlahetseng mona ba batho ba basweu? What about Makhalate? Ke kgola hore re misunderstand nthwena hobane how was sheba? Rona re le batjha ha re thole di stance mona, ha re thole di title deed, and how o ngodisa stance ANC e hlahisa membership in order ho bilong memo. Rona re le batjha ba mona re batla botulo bo sefelletseng jwalo ka ma South African, and re hloka di title deed le rona jwalo ka batjha ba mo ke a leboha Chairperson.
Thank you, David. Interpretation.
My name is Tabang from Ward 28. I stand here to indicate that I don't support amending the Constitution. We as the Welcome Youth do not get stands or title deeds. And I feel that the ANC
Order.
government should firstly explain what is the procedure that they are going to use when amending the Constitution. What about white people and colors who also stay here? My other reason to be against this is because when you ask for a stand, ANC requires that you should have membership in order for you to be allocated land. I do not support the amendment.
Next speaker.
Thank you, Chairperson. Mijn naam is Randall Oosthuizen. Ik wil net weten, die interpreter, kan ik maar Khoisan-taal praten? Wel, zij kan interpreteren. Oh, I'm not allowed to talk my language of my birth in my own country. Yeah. I would like to say, I cannot support this thing of land expropriation because the land was never expropriated, it was taken by proclamation. For me as a Khoisan, I think we have long discussed it on Kimberley 1. We have talked it at Kimberley 2. We told the Minister of Land Reform to say that we first want to start from the beginning. When we say we want to start from the beginning, we are saying that we first have to go and check where did everything start. Firstly, we want the implementation of Resolution 169 69, which was adopted in the United Nations in 1989, whereby First Nation status was granted unto my people. Then you can come and say that we are going to discuss land expropriation with the rightful owners, which are the bona fides, because the land was never white. I want to tell it to the white people. Land was never white. To the black people, I want to tell you that the land was never dark. The land is brown. The land is brown. So that is a true reflection and a true meaning to see that who are the real owners of this land. So if you want to expropriate land, you first come and talk to us. We must finish. We have told them, we gave them a mandate at NAREG. We are waiting for our report from NAREG. After getting our report from NAREG, then you can come and start these discussions that you are busy with. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Izwele, Africa, Chairperson, and all the leaders that are assembled before us today. For starters, I would like to start with this. I think it is just now like the standard rule to say whether you accept land expropriation without compensation or not. And as Cindy Somasiki from Tabong, I support land expropriation without compensation. And for all the people who are still asking us in 2018, what are we going to do with the land? We'll tell you that that question is long overdue. We've answered that question many a times before. And we are not of the view that whites are better at subsistence farming than us, or whether whites are better at commercial farming better than us. We think that very same land that they are making economically viable, we also have the ability to make it economically viable. Secondly, there's this issue of the existing land redistribution programs within the status quo. With regards to that, we've noted, I think everybody in this room has noted, that the willing buyer, willing seller model has failed. Why has the willing buyer, willing seller model failed? Because whites do not want to relinquish that land. And what they do is that they ask for exorbitant amounts with regards to the land that which it can be bought with. Now, we already know that our people don't have this kind of money. Then what that does is that it renders government redundant, and we don't have solutions with regards to land redistribution. Also, we say with regards to the restitution bill, we can't have a restitution bill that starts to say people can claim from 1913. Why it didn't arrive on our shores in 1913? What measures did we use to sort of have this time frame to discard over 350 years of white settlers within the country when we're saying people should claim from 1913? Lastly, with regards to the issues around the restitution bill, we're saying that because only about 88% of land has been given back to the people, it will take over 100 years for us to get about 30% of the land back with regards to the policies that are in the status quo. We reject this, and we say that the time frame with regards to the land claims must actually be revisited. Secondly, we're saying people have been claiming from 1998 with regards to the land. Even today, a lot of those people are still landless. We're saying to the government and to our leaders, this land question needs to be resolved, and the people need to have their claims actually fulfilled before next year's elections. Because we're not going to vote for government and parties that are actually coming and picking issues to make them popular, and in the end, not deliver on those issues. We're saying we're giving you this time frame as people that are assigned to actually take care of this Commission of Land Rights. We're saying as the people of this country, you need to resolve this issue now. If you don't, we won't participate in your bogus democracy that doesn't give us our rights in this country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
My name is Chintango Snati. I support the motion of we should expropriate land without compensation. The current constitution under Section 25 of South Africa. I'm frustrated by black people, I should say African people, when they say they do not support the expropriation of land, when we live in this unequal world, which is South Africa. Now, the current government, which is led by ANC, has failed us as African people post 24 years of democracy. We still do not own a piece of land as an African people. While the Caucasian people own massive amount of land. Now, the only continent in the world, which is Africa. This is where colonizers, our colonizers still live in it and has power. This is Africa in that case. Now, we do not rely to when they say that when the land is in the hands of a black man will be of less of a value. That's a lie, because in normal economics, if there's a supply, there will be demand. Obviously, the investors will come to South Africa. And a country that can feed itself is a country that can sustain itself. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Good day, Chairperson. My name is Sarah Kutsia from the GFD Group. We are labor consultants for 172 farmers in this Northern Free State area. And we're also representing about 1,600 farm workers. That's not here today. And I want to speak on behalf of those workers. And Chairperson, we don't support the changing of this act because we believe that if you're expropriating farmland without compensation, that will kill the farmers and that will lead to job losses for the workers we are working with.
No. Members of the public.
Excuse me?
No, sir. You continue.
Thank you. If that happens, expropriating of farmland without compensation, farmland won't have value. That will mean that our farmers won't be able to go to the banks to get money to put in the next crop. That will make my job very difficult because I will have to retrench 1,600 workers, and they're not here today to speak. So we must keep that in mind. I think government must go back to the drawing board and do their homework. First, I think they must go to each and every black farmer that got land from the government and help them and support them to be productive on the farms that are already in black hands. Because they're suffering, you are giving them farms and you don't support them. And their workers are also losing their jobs. So I think you must do your homework very well before you start something like this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Chairperson.
Order. There's a speaker on the podium.
My name is Igor Skierkwochel, and I represent an MPO called the Power of One, who is fixing potholes here in Machabeng, who is creating jobs, because Mr. Spielman has failed us. And I come to say, I support land expropriation, but I'm against the amendment of the Constitution. Because we have to ask ourselves, is this bill land expropriation without compensation, or is it voter exploitation without consideration? And that is what we, and I want to reiterate what this man said, as the people sitting here. You are sitting here to represent us. And majority of the people here do not own land. Is that true? So land must return, but not through populist movements by changing the Constitution. Yes, I'm white. I have benefit from apartheid. To this day, I take that. That's why I'm standing here. That's why my MPO is going, creating jobs, educating the people, filling potholes. So I'm not here trying to get votes, and that is what this bill is about. And I know a lot of white people are saying, let's forget about what happened in apartheid. It's for 20 years of apartheid. We need to move on. That's rubbish. We cannot, the black people cannot say, let's push all white people into the sea. That is not what South Africa is about. We think we've been sold this lie, democracy brings development. No, it's the other way around. Development supports democracy. And without support, black farmers, swart boere, because we go to this term, blacks are farmers, whites are boere. No, swart boere. They don't get the support.
Order. Allow
But I
us
also-
to hear the person on the podium.
I want to conclude with 3 things. I want you guys to think about what does this bill actually says. This bill says that all these black people here without land, these swart boere, you are going to become tenants of the government. You are not going to own mahala, nothing. If you look at the Constitution, there is a provision to say that land can go back. And I want to end. We need to get title deed to these people that don't own land. Land need to go back to people of South Africa, black, white, brown. But it starts by cutting out corruption. 880 million rand of Machabeng went into Spielman and his friends' pockets. And that money must go back
Order.
to South Africans.
Order.
And when we stop, the root of this bill is corruption and populist people.
Time has expired.
Exploiting poor people.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Next speaker.
Greetings to you all. I'm not supporting Section 25, but I'm here to support my brothers and sisters who are still today becoming fathers, grandfathers, and even great-grandfathers in their mothers' houses. Give back our land. All.
Good day to the members of parliament, MECs and the executive mayors I saw here today. My name is Aphelele Mbizo and I am from Machabeng, Ward 34, here in Vaucon. Before I go to any pointers, may I please be recorded as I'm in support of the amendment? I stand here angered and disappointed by some of the remarks made by our white counterparts, such as what kind of farmers are we looking for? What are we going to do with this land? You seem to forget that there is a generation that is post-Bantu education, a generation that got the opportunity to attend your schools and your universities. We have agriculturalists, we have economists, we have industrialists and logisticians that are black. The question of what kind of farmers we need is not an issue. We know and understand the importance of exporting of goods. We know how to trade goods through the JSE and thanks to the ANC-led government. When you ask us of what are we going to do with the land, what did you find us do with the land before you gave us your 3 ships and we got drunk? We are not naive. We know and understand wealth and economic drivers. We never said we want to build shacks or houses on farms. We said we want to participate in the country's wealth and economic drivers from the resources of our land. Give us our land and watch us prosper. There are men here who are talking about the corruption of government.
The corruption started back to the pre-1994 when you saw that the ANC was going to go into power. You sold land with 5 cents. You gave everybody, every white person, the industries, the businesses, the farms, you sold the land for 5 cents. You gave yourselves leases of 200 years. How are we expected to get opportunities when we do not have opportunities to actually get into the constitution, amend that, correct the fault that you made? We are not here to say that we are going to run down the farms. We are educated. We have people that have been working in your farms for all these years. Jan van Riebeeck came here to get grapes. He found grapes that were farmed by the people that are already here. So you cannot ask us that we are going to run this economy to the ground. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Dumelang kaofela. Lebitso la ka ke Lehlohonolo Patrick Kgatebe. Ke e mong a ema mona mabapi le ke tshehetsa nthwena ya section ena e sentse buetse sekgoe sona seo. Ha ke bone bohlokwa ba hore, I'm sorry to use the lentswe le ke le sebedisa, when someone blame another person ka diphoso tse le hore di etsahetse. You can't mention lebitso la Ntate Speelman or Speelman ke yena a entseng a sentseng corruption. This is not how we should deal with stuff. Tsela e bobebe ya hore maphelo a rona bana ba Afrika a ka fetoha ke ka hore fela lefatshe re lefuwe. Batho ba basweu ba hana ka lefatshe because ba batho bona diphethoho di ba teng maphelong a rona. Ka puo e haufinyana ke re ho bontate ba basweu bo ba se le bo Mrs. Hier ons mensen die wereld. Jullie kennen ons is ons wereld. We don't care about that. What we want is the world.
Next speaker.
Mandla. No, thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I'm tempted to speak in English, but now I want our old people to understand what we're going to say. Now let me go back to Venek. Ke nna morapela, ke le Councillor Harib, ke tswa Harib because I have a platform to come and engage in this matter. Serious. So ke travile mona to fana ka input. Now my concern is that, Chairman, I'm going to say I'm supporting the amendments. The process is delaying the outcry on the ground. People on the ground are frustrated, they don't have houses, they don't have sites and everything. But now this process, you can continue with it. But in the meantime, allow black people to occupy land while you are still busy with the process. And second to that, we are going to appeal to you. We are going to appeal to you that the democracy that was introduced to us, it is a struggle. Struggle is about what and the very same mobu meaning that we want land and everything on that land. So, in as much as we are respecting the constitution of South Africa, high benefit, we are saying to you, the land, while the busy platform, but we are going to occupy land. Let us man on the ground. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
I want to thank the members of the parliament for the opportunity. My name is Mkonto Mukoma. I'm standing here as a community activist. I'm representing the youth. I'm representing the poor. I support the motion of amending Section 25 with the utmost understanding that amending this Section 25 is going to give our government the economic power that they still don't have. It's going to give our people the dignity that they lost. It's going to give these people equality, black or white. I want to emphasize one thing. I don't see people as being black or white. I see people as being human beings, human race.
I'm not colorblind. The other thing I want to make an example that the reason that our constitution, basically the Bill of Rights, our cornerstone, it's a fiction because of the very same Section 25 that is still in the favor of the minorities. I will make a typical example. How can one say, I can fully and equally enjoy the rights and the freedoms of this country when we have so many people who are poor, the poor of the poorest, and we have so many minorities having the economic power? When are you going to put these people, hold them accountable for infringing the human rights of so many people? When are you going to do that? Because you don't hesitate to put our people behind bars whenever they stood up and fight for this right. This is our right. When are you going to put these people, when are you going to hold them accountable for infringing so many human rights? I will make another example that is on the same Bill of Rights. Section 26, subsection 1. It says that everyone has a right to have an adequate housing. And again, it says that the government must make sure on its available resources that that right is exercised. How can that be possible when the very same government doesn't own this land? How are they going to give these people houses? How are they going to give these people so that they can own industry? How is that going to be possible? This Bill of Rights, it is fiction because of the very same Section 25 that is still in favor of the minorities. I'm not talking black, I'm not talking white. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Taba ya pele a gore ke leboe baetapele ba ka ba dintho tse kgubedu. Batho ba ileng ba re bula mahlo ntse re batla re kwalekwaleile re se re sa hopodi ditho tsa baholo ba rona. Ke tle ke qale monna o teng wa qeta go mona wa mosonyana. Wa tseba in mathematics but there is no insolvency. And if they don't want to be pushed into a sea, there is an alternative. They can go there. But if they don't want to be pushed there. Taba ya pele ke hore wa bona batho bana ba tleng ka dikepe bana ba re ntse hampe ke di looters ba utswitse re ntse re ba shebile. And then ntwe ba utswitseng ba utswitse ba enka fela ha ile hona jwale ne re sa tshwanela re ba kope re be le bona. Ke hopola ha ke ntse ke le ka ntle ka mane bana ba bo rona ba batsho nna ke Mosotho ke bolela Bosotho ke representa South Africa na a pere dikipa tse motsweng di e ka mane mare makgwabe ba tsona ha ba di apara. Monna
Can we hear the speaker?
Monna e mong ore ha hona batho ba tla beng ba le teng ha re bua ka taba ena batho tla be ba le siyo. Jwale ona tshwantse a re bolelle hore na ba tle hape ka dromedaries ba tle ba tlo ba teng ka ra hearing ena na. Jwale ntho re tshwantseng re tsebe batho bana ba basou bana ha ba qale hore bolaya ka 1976 ba re bolaile ka nako tse telele. Ha o ya bo manganisi mane le ba sebedisa batho manganisi mane batho ba shwe ba batsho ba batla ho fedisa batho ba batsho. Ha o tlo sheba di mine ba le banka bo ntata rona ba batlisa kwano mona ba tlo shwa ba bolawa ke silicosis ba lebelletse hore re tlo fela just because jwale ba bona re ntse re ba bangata ba se ba le ka hara rona ba etsa ekare ba bua le rona fela ba ntse ba ja potjikos maobane ba le bang e le makgowa fela tsatsing lena ba apesa ba ba dikipa jwale ha ile hantle re mmuso cope skenela misleader ba re mmuso ha o etse tjena na ha o nke tsohle ke state re bua ka state ha o nke tsohle di be ho tsona AfriForum le hopole hore ha re le be le ka thoko re ntse re le hlokometse re tlotla re arolelana dintho tsena ka ho lekana ka ho tshwana jwale ha o hana ntho eo o batla efe motho a ska nna re bolella hore o na le ntho molemo o hira motho ha re batle ho hirwa re rutwe matric re sa rutwe mesebetsi hore re tle re bua sekgowa re ske ka kgona ho seba makgowa jwale ha e sebetse ntho eno batho ba sebetsang maplasi ke batho ba batsho ha re etse mosebetsi batho ba batsho re nke maplasi e se maplasi fela le di mine le meru le matamo le dinoka le tsohle tseo
Interpretation. Interpretation.
Let me start by thanking my leaders in red. I support amending the constitution. White people looted our land. They are continuing to loot our land. I must also highlight that it's disappointing to see my fellow blacks wearing DA t-shirts, yet I haven't seen a white person wearing a DA t-shirt. White people started murdering us way before 1976. Yes, just yesterday they were eating poiki okos alone, excluding us, yet today they come here and pretend to be with us. COPE should not mislead people. We want our land. AfriForum, we are watching you. Black people are the ones that are working farms. We want the farms, we want the land, we also want the mines, and we want all the wealth that belongs to us. Thank you. His name is Petros Charlie.
All right. The next batch will then take us to 4 o'clock. So we're taking the batch that will take us to 4 o'clock to the conclusion. We're taking the first speaker on this batch.
Kgotsong kaofela batho. Lebitso la ka ke Makgotla Sefudi. Lebitso la ka ke Makgotla Sefudi, ke hlaha mona Matjhabeng.
Order.
Lebitso la ka ke Makgotla Sefudi, ke hlaha mona Matjhabeng. I'm standing here in support of Section 25 of the Constitution.
because I don't see any necessity for the amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution, as it already caters for the expropriation of land with compensation. The ANC-led government is the problem, as it lacks the capacity to deal with land issues in terms of Section 25 and lack of commitment. Many claimants of restitution opted for money instead of land. Government officials inflated claims in Limpopo. Many cases remain unresolved because more than one community claimed the land. Farms are not working, waiting for government decisions, which has affected food security. Report by Special Investigation Unit found illegal land grants to the value of 97 million. 636 examples of non-existent or false beneficiaries. Forgery of valuation documents, family members of officials listed as beneficiaries. Mozambique is recruiting farmers from South Africa, 800 commercial farmers, and we are now importing their products. Government must first allocate plus minus 27% of state-owned land to all those interested before talking expropriation without compensation. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Lebitso la ka ke Mmokgonqobo. Na ke dumellane le hore lefatshe le nkuwe ntle le ditlhapiso. Ka mabaka ke ana. Hona le batho ba nang le mapolasing a bona, mapolasing mo ha ba kgone hore ba sebetse. Hona jwale mapolasing batho ba nka mobu o wa bona ba hloma mekhukhu moo hobane bo mapolasi bao kapa bo rapolasi bao ha ba kgone hore ba sebedise dipolasi tseo tsa bona. Mme nna ha ke dumellane le hore lefatshe le nkuwe ntle le ditlhapiso. Ke a leboha.
Interpretation. No. Why are you starting that now? No booing, no booing.
My name is Mmokgonqobo. I do not support land expropriation without compensation. The reason why I do not support it is because we do have people who have farms but cannot make use of their farms. They're just sitting with their farms. Thus, I do not support land expropriation without compensation.
Next speaker.
Lebitso la ka ke Matshepo Setlhare. Ha ke emela mokgatlo le ha ile o le mo mokgatlo o ke leng ho ona ha le mpona ke apere tjena kwa dingaka tsa setso. Jwale le nna ke dumelana le ntho ya hore mobu ka nkuwa ka ntle ho patala. Hobane re ya sokola re dingaka. Ha ke tloa mona ke lo batlana le sebaka moo nka ka fumana meriana teng. Beng ba dipolasi hangata ba tla o bolella hore trespassitse. So ke kopa le nna ke fumane sebaka moo nka etsang meriana ena ka teng, because hangata re tena re ntse re ba le mathata re le dingaka, because ke bua le ngaka ya motho ya mosweu ka meriana eo ke nang le yona, because yena o na le laboratory na ke na yona nka ka iketseng yona e leng Dumba ya Sesotho ha ke na yona. So ha ke ka eta o bua le ena ka meriana eo ke nang le yona o lo etsa pidisi, na ke kgone ho etsa pidisi, ke tseba ho pheha moriana ko phele motho a kgone ho phela. So ke kopa naha re le dingaka le rona re fumane dibaka moo re ka etsang mesebetsi ena teng, hobane hangata ebile ha re le ka hara batho re sokola le moriana ona o thweng ke matekwane ho jala. Ha ke tshwantse ke o jale ke tlo tshwara fela ha ke na le sebaka seo ke o jallang ho sona. Ha ke dumele hore ke tlo ba le bothata hobane le nna ke tla tseba motho a trespassitse moo ke e sebetsang teng. Ka hona re kopa naha ho ntate. Ke a leboha.
Interpretation.
My name is Matshepo Setlhare. I'm not politically affiliated. I stand here representing I stand here representing an organization of traditional healers. I support land expropriation without compensation. The reason why I support it is, as traditional leaders, when we go searching for herbs, we are charged for trespassing by white farmers who claim that we are invading their land. Therefore, we stand here requesting land for traditional leaders so that we are also able to plant marijuana as one of the herbs which we use for healing. I support land expropriation without compensation.
Thank you. Next speaker.
My name is Tisezo Mahlatsi. I am from Machabeng, born from a small town mining area, Alan Ridge. But because of poverty, I had to relocate to Velkom for work. I am standing here as a grandchild of the Freedom Charter. I am standing here to support the amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution to give expression to land expropriation without compensation. I am emphasizing that land expropriation without compensation is not a choice. It's a must, it's a right, it must happen now. There's a Sotho saying, we must remind the National Party and their whites that they legalized theft from 1930 by forcefully stealing our land. Now we want what has been stolen from us. How can you steal a car and demand a compensation? It's not yours. You must go to jail for stealing. Now we are compromising, saying, instead of sending you to jail, we are saying, let's share. You are mourning. This is our land. We are not asking for a favor. We want to share in the land and the economy of our country. From 1994, it was just a spiritual approach by accommodating you. Now you are exploiting our spirituality. And you are threatening us by war. Look, if you want war, bring it on, we are ready. We are not afraid, we are not unshaken, we fought for this freedom. It was not a gift. So if you want to threaten us with war, come, we are ready, but we get our land without compensation. Amanda.
Thank you. Next speaker.
I greet you all in the mighty name of God, and I thank God for this day, the opportunity that one has been praying for. And I would like to really request the attention of the people that are here, because we are here because we want our views to be heard and we want solutions. So it is very important that we conduct ourselves in a manner that we would like to be addressed and act like adults, because we want to own land. Let's behave like it, please. So without much further ado, my challenge is, we have a serious challenge now. We have gone to the end before we even gone through the process. The reason why I'm saying that is that my profession is that I'm an independent researcher and an analyst, and what I have been doing for the past 20 years is to research strategies and challenges that government has been having. Right now, everybody has been coming here with a challenge that what's going to happen to the poor person? What's going to happen to that person without a voice? What's going to happen to that person without education? What is going to happen to that child whose parents have been deceased and nobody's looking after them? It is very important that we learn to do things right. What is very important for us to do is to do what is first, to do our planning. The dispensation of land, we need to come to an understanding that there's a lot of South Africans and each and every person who is here is eligible to land, because if you are born in a country, you are a descendant of the inheritance and the indigenous people of that land. So we need to understand that we cannot be calling ourselves citizens of South Africa and then we don't have ownership of land. It's just a myth. It's very important that our co-citizens, the Caucasian community, the white people, they need to understand that no, it came to this point because if a court issues a warrant of arrest, if a court sanctions, and then you promise and say, okay, fine, William Buyer, William Sell. It didn't work. Now you didn't appear in court. Now there's a warrant that is claiming that you must appear. The land is going to be expropriated without compensation. That is going to happen. It's not something that we are discussing here. What is important right now is for us to ask ourselves, how are we going to do it? How are we going to dispense the land? How are we managing the land that we already have? How are we supporting the farmers? I am a farmer myself. My farm was taken, through processes that I don't even want to go into. And I had challenges whereby the people that are running land affairs are very much unscrupulous. And this is a frustration that a lot of people are having. You would find yourselves having to be, now we have the land, we have to allocate it to each and every person. It has to be a fair process. I'm calling on to the president. I'm saying, Mr. President, don't surround yourself with people that have got a history of success and the land. Our country is in the state where we are. Here I am, we are young people, we are researchers, we have been dedicating our lives to coming up with solutions to help, to introduce young people into farming, to introduce women into farming, to introduce communication so that we can have a communication strategy. We cannot always fight all the time when we want anything to happen.
Sir, do you support the amendment or expropriation of
Yes,
land?
okay, sir. I just want to thank you. The reason why I had to...
Don't give message. Your time has expired, but we didn't get your message.
Yes, my message is indeed, it is something that we not have to discuss.
Thank you. Next
It's
speaker.
done. So the most important thing is that...
No. Next speaker.
Hallelujah. Amanda!
The Amanda doesn't go to the committee, okay? So we don't recognize Amanda. Tell us, talk to the committee.
Good afternoon, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I think the meeting that we have here, for the inputs that we are coming to make here, they are not even necessary because it's logic as it is. The land was taken from us and it must come back to us, the owners. So there was my white counterpart who spoke before here, who spoke about Spielman. Don't attack the individual person because we can always identify those whites, those who express their apartheid system on us. So don't talk about Spielman. You must refrain your words that you spoke about Spielman.
Address us.
Now, I support the amendment of Section 25 of our Constitution that the land must come back to its own indigenous people. You can see what is happening in our country. We don't have economy. Our votes in 1994 was only the beginning of the good things to come. That means now the things that to come, we need our land back, we need our mines back. The white people, they stole from us, they stole our minerals, they took our minerals to their European brothers. Now we have nothing. I have to buy a ring from American Swiss. That cost me 5,000 rand. I don't have that 5,000 rand. they made them eligible to get paid a lot of money in the mining industry. We people, those who are digging that gold, we don't get that salary so that we can buy our wives, our mothers, the gold that we are digging from underground, and the diamond that we are digging, the platinum and everything. So by so saying, shortly, I'm just saying the land, Section 25, I support it 120%.
Next speaker.
Dumelang. Lebitso la ka ke Ditaba Makume, ke hlanya ka Long Island Ridge. Baetapele ba ka overall tse kgubedu, ke a leboha, ke le golela ka tima. Ha ke tshabe ho bua hore I'm a proud member of EFF, no matter what. Story se to se bua se bohloko. Kutlwa bohloko hore Maburu a nna re tlo etsa mo petsana. Hore ho na le ntho e bohloko e etsahalang 25 years into democracy. Between Alan Rich and Ordinary, on a plastic Estadon, Morana can not deal. They are very rich multi-millionaires. But to buy high, who bought out about transport, I can't then, it's 9 notes. Can all these skills? Kileka about how we get it about to make it more 2 weeks. But one more little bit, the bus, a chance amount. Could I was so and night in the Gabisa one daddy? How long Temutu? Ekabamana Loho, Magano Guto, I know the bus. Negative title, but fair banana, Kitty, Yamas, Nicholas Pike, but I want to talk about it. Homo Shogo, Mabu, and the went about to Hamby. How are you placing ill? But to Amole, Havana Leda, who's was like detected him as a will. But I live plus 5 Fontaine. On a list, Hoko Kulu, Ebarinki, Hostel. Fatimona, Hayasamento, Kissant, but how about Svetamo, but Allah, you point you with him as Sand. How you blew off? But I store says Molson about hostel, like it say. Later, the first very shortly. But what is a gas seven to see you by the agent? How about Chaisa? Chantella Massimbolo, one like gas seven. Mabu, but Mabu, my baby, almost move for Hitler. But how about 3,200? So, you support this section.
Interpretation. Interpretation.
My name is Ditaba Mangome from Alenri. May I firstly thank the leadership in red. The story I'm going to share is quite emotional. There's a family by the same name Nodia with a farm here in Alenri, one of the richest white people in the country. They have more farms in Bloemfontein as well. They mistreat black people. Black people are still requested to address them as boss, even though they are younger than them. I went to work there just to observe how black people are treated. Workers are suffering, not given proper attire for the work they do, working long hours without recognition. With that said, I support the amendment of the Constitution.
Next speaker.
Ke lebohe baetapele ba ka ba di overall tse khubidu. Ke lebohe CIC. Ke nahana hore ntho e batho bana ba e batlang moetapele ha bana ho ikutlwa solanka EFF e sa batsiki. Ba ne CIC o tla ba bula ditsebe e kenele kelelong ya hae. Ka khoutu ba bone o ba bolelletse a re ha ke kena ka parlamenteng khoutu ya going down and we yent a re ke tla jesa thega le kota pirete ya hae a eja a thosa mosholosi ka short wa bona hala hore ntwena ba ntse ba e batla tlamehile ba e botse EFF ke bona bana le nkelello eo batho ba ke batho ba ba ruteileng batho a re re hara ruteya mare bona ba ruteile le kelello a bona politically you can use it so ha hona le ka mohla mo makgowa a reng re tla etsang ka lefatshe ha re qeta ho linka bona bana linka ho bo mang pele ba linkile ho rona mo se batho ba batho so EFF ina le di-section tseo le dintho tseo kaofela ba tseba hore ba tla etsa jwang le ka bona. A re na ho ba leleka re bapale maskepe. Ban ba tla be ba baleya ka tjhelete ya rona mos. Nna ke tswa Boshoff kwa motseng o mong kwa 400 kilos go tswa mo ya ntho. Ke phela Kimberley. Ko rona kwa ke tlala. Re na le di-mine tse 8 tse di kwetsweng nou. Di ownwa ke bo Potgieter ba go oversee kwa. What about mineral tse di ka tlasa buo? Ho etsalang ka di-mineral tse ka tlasa mbu tse ba ba sa batleng le hore re kene le nou ho na le mine engwe e qetang ho bulwa nou last year. Ha ona le motho o i-1 wa Boshoff o sebetsang mining o wa Kofia. Ha ona le motho o i-1 wa Boshoff o dulang or wa Tokologo o sebetsang mo mining o. La se re ne ile kwa ba re buletse case. Re batla Boshoff o expande e be kgolo ba re bulela case high court. Jwale re etseng mare ka lefatshe la rona. ANC ba hlolwa ke ntho tse mo pela bona hore ba di implemente. Jwale ba batla ho etsa o tla etsuwa ha ba sa batle ho etsa ntho eo. EFF e ba ke ditsebe batho ka 2019 ra kopa votelang EFF la bona hore tsela le bophelo di kae.
Interpretation.
Mama ke etsa 100%. 100. Ke a leboha.
May I thank the EFF leadership, and my request is that we should leave this process to them, that the CIC should be the one leading the process of land redistribution. The EFF managed to get rid of Msholozi, so I believe they will be able to see through this process. I come from Boshoff, where 8 mines were closed down. We never know what happened to the minerals. We want the minerals, we want the land as well. May I also encourage that people should vote for EFF. I support the amendment 100%.
Next speaker.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I'm very glad to see that the former leader of ANC Youth League, Comrade Chivambu, is here. I'm Tiliso Tladi. I'm a teacher by profession, and I'm the secretary of the ANC Youth League from Allen Ridge there. I had hoped that the fellow brother who's white, who spoke about Comrade Spielman, he should have also highlighted that Comrade Spielman supports the land expropriation without compensation. Now, when we speak about land as black people, we speak about a dignity to us. A land is a heritage to us. A land is a pride to a black man. It cannot be correct that you find one man who's white owning a land that is 2 times as equals to the land that is owned by 10,000 people. When you go to Nyakalongwalen Ridge, there's more than, the population is over 7,000 people. But there's the white man that the fellow speaker spoke about, he owns the big land. That is more than the land that we own as black people. Now, the other thing is that when you go to Allen Ridge, you'd find that the cousins and siblings have turned into rivals because they are sharing the house of their grandmother. It's because of we don't have land as black people. The second thing is that as a teacher, it will be said that we don't promote sports and everything and recreation at schools. How can we promote sports when our schools are having small yards where we cannot have the sports field? You go to Model C schools, you'd find that their yards are very big. They have 3 soccer field, 3 rugby field, tennis courts and everything. How can we promote sport as teachers when we don't have land? We need land. The second thing is that myself, I just built a house for my parents. I want to build a house for myself now. I went to look if I can buy a site in Odindal Series. It costs around 30 to 60,000. Where can I get that money? If we don't have that money, we need land. The second thing again is that I'm representing the Kalusha. In Island Reach, there's a piece of land there, number 2. It is owned by Harmony. We tried to occupy that land because the ANC also took the resolution that we must occupy land in Nasrec in December. We went to occupy that land, but we were arrested. On the 6th, my friend is there. We are going to attend the court case. We are charged by Harmony for occupying the land that they have never used for more than 20 years. For more than 20 years. When we go and try to occupy that land, they are telling us, hey, we have a plan about that land, hey, we are going to develop. But they are not doing anything to us as young people. And we have said in that land, we are very clear that we want only young people to occupy that land. Young people, hence we have named it after Solomon Mahlangu. So I'm saying that we support land expropriation without compensation. Why do you compensate someone who stole from you? Meaning you are also supporting theft. So I'm saying we must occupy land. I don't even know why you came here because we have spoken. You can go to Twitter, we want land. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Dumelang. Ke lebogang kola ka lebitso. Leadership nna ke bona like discussion ena e le a waste of time. Ga batla lefatshe la rona. Ga tlameha re discuss gore ga batla lefatshe la rona. O tlamehile re lenke lefatshe le ke la rona. Di mine a ke re di tlile mona na bontatemolo ba rona ntse ba dula mona. Tsa fitla tsa builder mona na ke. Vacant land ya di mine e ngata ka mona na tse le gore ba hana re a re builder ho tsona. So leadership ga e kopa land eo ke ya rona eo. A ra tlameha hore ne re tle re tlo discussa hore re supporta eng re support eng. Ke a supporta amendment ya ntho ya section 25 mare land ya rona ra e batla. If ever batho ba occupy land ya rona ba batla compensation, re tla ba fa plane ticket back to Holland. Lefatshe lena ke la rona leadership lena. Ha ga tlameha hore tlo le kopa lefatshe lena ke la rona. If ever wa tla ka ntwa, a batla ka ntwa leadership ya level.
Interpretation.
My name is Lebogang. I believe this gathering is a waste of time because we have made our point clear that we want our land back. We want the mines and the land back. I support Section 25, and those who do not support this, we might as well buy plane tickets for them and they can go back to Holland.
Next speaker.
Good day, Chair. My name is Bangani Maibuye. I'm a member of ANC and a branch of ANC Youth League that elected Floyd Chivambo in Mangawi in Conference of 24, where we have taken the resolution of land expropriation without compensation, where the EFF today is claiming that they are the one who are pushing the very same thing of land expropriation without compensation.
Order. Order. No, don't interfere with the speaker.
Okay, Chair, before I go forward, I'm going to entertain the booing. That's why Floyd is laughing, because he's knowing very well what I'm saying is the truth. So I'm supporting the land expropriation without compensation. But then we are saying, when we support land expropriation without compensation, I'm residing here in Welkom, in the town, in the ward. Here in town, the problem that we're having a lot of spaces, like many speakers have came before me and have said, like, there are a lot of open space that are owned by mines, whereby you'll find the hectare of the mine, it's only a small piece, whereby when we want to create a sports ground and whatever for our communities, we can't, because they say that land belongs to the mine. And when we are doing the very same thing, we want to grab that land so we can create sports field for young people, then we get arrested. As the other one from Kalusha, 134 in Yakalong, has stand here and told you that they are busy now attending the case in Yakalong with the Harmony, where Harmony have arrested them and opened the case for them. Also in Allen Ridge, we have one of our comrades again, who are also occupied the land and giving people land there so they can have land where they can stay and have their own dignity. So the problem that we are having here is that other people want to use the platform of land as like the lobbying for 2019. No, 2019 is coming. We'll meet on the ground as the ANC. We trust ourselves. That's why we didn't even bought transport for people to come here. You can see others, they bought transport for other people to come here so they can support their statement. No, we're used to these things. Floyd knows it very well. That's why he's even like claiming like we'll meet next year on the election. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Ashegulena, Kilebwa Butembalo, now Taune, Hape, Limonzina. Obani, Azeka Zapele, Rebona, Bueta Pelibota Mona, Bubua, Yonantisona Liena, Hagitalo Hota, Kalbagalin Lao, expropriate Mobu without compensation. Now, Kabukusane ki support. Moshinona, Kia supporter. Empa ndwe ekinalifia kayona korna ibe utlotsela molemo batho bana na or utlotsela molemo ba etapele jwalo ka ha o ntse ho etsala le montsena kaofela hobane hona le maplasi a teng rena le dipopolo tse shwang hana jwale ke community e homestead next to Bronville hona mona Velko community yenu le engwe ke Dorenpan dipopolo di a shwa baswadi mo ha rena le khulo batho informal settlement inkile sebaka hobane batho ba tseka bodulo mme ba fumane bodulo bo mo mo ne re budanteng so ha re sana sebaka popolo di a shwa re try ho tla di office mona re try ho matha ho bona rena re fumana thuso kae ha hona mo re kgona ho fumana thuso so ke kopa ke re fumane thuso mabapi le dipopolo tsa rona hobane ho bonala ha rena lefatshe and dipopolo tsa rona di jwa boetapeleng tse boleteng
Interpretation.
May I firstly start by thanking the delegates for coming back again. This is not the first time that I attend a public hearing regarding land expropriation. I support land expropriation without compensation. However, my question is, once this has been completed, is there a guarantee that the land will benefit our people or will it benefit our political leaders? We have communities who have cattle and other animals, but because we do not have land, our animals are dying. We want our land back, we need our land back. Thank you.
Next speaker.
My naam is Willie Prinsloo, ek is 'n wit boer hier van die Vrystaat. En dan het ek ook swart boere wat onder my hande is, met ander woorde wat ek so die afgelope 10 jaar opgelei het om volwaardige boere te wees. So ek wil net vir julle sê dat 2 van my boere is nou genomineer vir boer van die jaar by Graan SA. Wat ek wil terugkom, ek praat nie as net 'n wit boer, ek praat vir my mede mense wat hier ook sit, mense wat die grond het en ek praat ook oor die titelaktes en nie meer. Grond is nie so eenvoudig as wat mense sê nie. Ek het altyd die vergelyking getref van as jy na 'n myn gaan kyk, dan beteken 'n myn het 'n konstruksie bo-op en onder word die goud ontgin. By boerdery ontgin jy die grond onder wat bo-op die grond is, beteken dit geen nulwaarde. Beteken absoluut niks nie. Ons is afhanklik van die wêreld daar buite om fondse te bekom te kan boer. Banke gaan leen ook maar oor sy geld en so ook koöperasies. Dit kos plus minus R12,000 'n hektaar vir 'n saaiboer om graan in te sit om 'n mielieoes af te haal. So as jy 1000 hektaar het, praat jy van 12 miljoen. En daar's geen manier wat 'n bank vir my daai 12 miljoen geld kan gee. As ek hom sê hier's die plaas, jy kan die plaas as sekuriteit kry, gee my die 12 miljoen. Dan moet dit nou my vermoë wees om daai 12 miljoen wat ek onder die grond ingesit het te vermeerder sodat ek my kapitaal, my trekker, my arbeiders, myself kan betaal. As jy nie daai kontant, die probleem met boerdery is baie kapitaalintensief. Hy's geweldig duur om te begin. So as iemand vandag 3000 hektaar wil werk met dan moet hy 30 miljoen in die grond, onder die grond investeer. Nie bo die grond nie, onder die grond. En dit is die verskil, want ek hoor wat hulle sê en ek sal graag my medemense wat ook hier sit. Ek sê man, ons moet hande vat om hierdie ding te gaan verander en om te sê dat met ander woorde artikel 25 moet verander word en hulle betaal my vir daai geld wat ek onder die grond ingesit het, nie 'n sent nie. Dan is daar geen vooruitsigte vir my as 'n boer om verder in hierdie land aan te gaan nie. Dis my beter om my medemense hande te vat, hulle is welkom 1 of 2 of 3 kan na my toe kom en ek sal vir hulle, ons kyk hoe kan ons die ding begin aktiveer ook vir hulle. Maar ons moet baie versigtig wees waarmee ons besig wees. As iemand anders het met jou geld gewerk, as jy altyd vir die regering moet gaan vra kom help my. Wil ek hulle vandag sê, dit gaan nie werk nie, want ons groot probleem is die regering kan nie die landbou finansier nie, hy is te groot. Die banke, al die banke in Suid-Afrika kan nie die landbou finansier nie. Die landbou is hopeloos te groot. Ons praat van miljarde, ons praat nie van min geld nie. So my swart mense wat hier sit, ek vra julle asseblief, ons vat hande. Kom ons kom met mekaar uit. Kom ons gaan in die toekoms in. Ek weet hoe deur Graan SA is daar 300 of 450 boere die jaar opgelei. En julle is welkom om met hierdie mense kontak te maak, dat hulle vir julle vertel wat is hulle probleem. Hulle grootste probleem is nie grond nie, befondsing, geld om vorentoe te kan gaan. En dan wil ek net vir julle sê, kom ons is positief. Kom ons vat die ding vorentoe. Kom ons laat die markkragte werk, aanvraag, aanbod. En kom ons begin mekaar te vertrou. Dankie.
Interpretation.
Good day to everyone. My name is Valley Prince, and I just want to make a point that we should all hold hands in order to make this thing work, and in order for the farm to be taken to everyone else who wants to farm, it's a little bit expensive. So even the government and the banks cannot finance it. That's the point that I'm making now. Even the money that I invested in the farm, it's all below the ground. It's not on top of the ground. So in order for me to give the farm to people, I need the money first in order to get the money that I used in order to start the farm over. So let us work together in order to make this thing work. I don't know what did he say about the Land Expropriation Act. Thank you.
Next speaker.
From Welcome. Ke leboha leadership ena ya EFF to bring this motion up because ne re sa tsebe le rona hore na re tla bua le tlo a rona re tla thola thuso ne Ritz Parkerman ke dutse for about more than 17 years hona le di space tse empty tse ngata hampe mo e le hore re kile ra identify tse ding tsa tsona re batla hore re di fuwe re iketsetse recycling mo ha re se re ntse re kopa thuso hohle mona ho so hlaya ho thwe ke space sa lekgowa lo ha re le batla ha le sa phela lo phela mara space ke seo sa ija so nna ke batla ho tseba hore na space tse tletseng hohle mona tse ho thwe ke tsa makgowa a seng a hlokahetse ho tlo etsahalang ka tsona because rona ga di need a batla go sebedisa ntatemoholo wa ka e ne le farm worker so ntatemoholo wa ka o hlokatse a le puo but if ne se ka baka la selfish this word ho tletse bo selfish nkebe a hlokatse ana le tšhelete because o ne a sebeletsa lekgowa a ba a ithekela dikgomo ha o tlameha hore lekgowa le mo fe something phatinyana ya ho lena a itshebeletse mohlang a na tsamaya o lalele ka ntatemoholo wa ka a bone o ya kae ntatemoholo wa ka a tsofetse o la tlameha ho batla mo a tla dulang teng lekeisheneng moo re sokola hore mo batlela mo a dulang teng because e na le apartheid e ngata fela re sa tsebe re qala kae re ya kae ba bolela go Saudi la ke sebele ntlo ke a leboha EFF ya mphambili
the interpretation.
My name is Nari Moloi from Velcom. I stand here to indicate that I support amending the constitution and land expropriation without compensation. There's open land all over around us, but whenever we inquire and request the land, we are told that the land belongs to white farmers, who some of them have already died. My grandfather died. He was a farm worker with cattle. However, when his previous farmer, who was his boss, died, he kicked him off the farm and told him to find a place to stay. Because he did not have land, he could no longer take care of his cattle. I thank the EFF, and I would like to encourage them to continue doing the great work. I support land expropriation.
Next speaker.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mundabu Nkutwana. I'm 17 years old. I'm here to support the motion of giving the land without compensations. I am a young child, and I don't want, when I finish my matric, when I want to start a business, I don't want to see myself suffering without a land. I think the whites should give us our land back, because of our land is our dignity. And as much as we deserve our dignity that we are holding, they should give us back. We are equal as South Africans. Our forefathers fought for us at apartheid so that we can be equal. How can we be a complete African nation without our land back? How can we be a complete African nation without our mines back? Our brothers are sitting at auctions with degrees, with matrics, without land, without work. Giving us the land will be giving us an opportunity to build employment for young youths like me when I finish my matric. I want to work. I want my brothers to work. I want everybody to, we are suffering out there, people. Whites should give us our land back so that we cannot suffer. Re asotleha re le batho ba batsho. Bo obuti ba rona ba dutse locationing. Bo osu ba rona ba dutse locationing. If ever re ka fuwa lefatshe la rona back, I don't think gore re tla be re sotleha. Ke a leboha.
Next speaker.
Thank you, Chairperson and the parliamentarians. I have to pick up my wife in the next 2 minutes, but I need both the land and my wife. Thank you for the opportunity. I stand to support the motion to amend, Section 25. I even doubt whether we need to amend, because, when you go through that section, I doubt if it is an impediment. I'm here to say we need to expropriate without compensation. But I also want to make you all aware, if you look around, the people who were here in the morning, who were opposed to that amendment, they have gone. So shall I propose that we amend now? Thank you.
Next speaker.
Lebitso la ka ke Teboho Matsa, ke mo Afrika Borwa. O ska mpotsa hona hantle ke tswa kae, ke letswallo la Afrika Borwa. Ke re, the people shall govern and the people have spoken. Ha ke sa tseba hore na ke eng ho bohlokwa haholoholo ho le tlo etsa mona, hobane batho ba buile. Re shebile di statistics, re shebile ditaba, ho tlile ba tswang di university. We are all saying, give us the land. Let me tell you where I come from. I represent the youth of South Africa. Believe me, they are all literate. They are all educated, both formally and informally educated. You have your own degrees and your own diplomas. You have your own trainings It doesn't matter where you got them. Those that did not get the opportunity to be taught, those that did not get the opportunity to achieve like you, did achieve knowledge in an informal way. They didn't go to school, but they worked for those farmers. Let them use that knowledge like you also want to use the knowledge you got from the university. I would like to say, before I continue, I am a person who likes to share. I was given an opportunity by my fellow friend. Because you gave me an opportunity, let me pass your message. To Machabe municipality, Ward 33 is saying that it is giving you 30 days. They are going to grab their own land. Let me continue. Mr. Floyd Shibambo, I am also a beneficiary like you. You benefited from the African National Congress. So did I. This knowledge that I have, I got it from the ANC. These qualifications, I benefited them from the ruling government. But today I stand proud and say, I am a fighter. I am more than a fighter. Because not so long ago, I told my friends that they can't call me a fighter anymore. They must call me a warrior. I am past that stage. Now we should discuss how do we transfer the economy from the minority to the blacks. We are the majority. This issue of land, I am closing the chapter. We need to discuss economy. We are equipped. We have knowledge, both from the class and both from work. We worked with these people. We used their machines. We have what they call knowledge. That thing is nothing based on our experience. We can survive. Members of Parliament, I need you to pass this message to the President of South Africa. I, Teboho Joseph Ramaza, today am saying this issue is an issue of the past. Stop asking hore retongka mobu yuamba to. Stop asking hore na hobane rinka mobu. Just give us the land and let us show you that we are capable. We are South Africans, and South Africa belongs to all of us.
Time will expire. Next speaker.
Right, lebitso la ka ke Boitumelo Olifant go tswa Ward 2 Boshoff. Pele ke bua go na le ntho e nkgatlhile, there is a guy o ileng a re re tla kopana, he's from the ANC, re tla kopana next year. Ke rata gore mo go wena on a daily basis batho ba rona ba ntse ba kwalelwa. Jwale ha o bua ka gore re tla kopana next year re ya di-electioneng, never do that. Ha re ya di-electioneng o tla kopana le seo lo sa se lebelela. Ke rata go leboga my fellow brothers in red, the EFF members. Ke mono go tla go supporta the motion was section 25 land of expropriation. Go na le batho bao ba malomotshweu bao ba neng ba re ha re krale hatsi re tla dirang ka lona. Ke rata go dira boikuelo mo go lona gore etsang eka ga ba exist batho bano. Gonne seo ba se buang se bolela gore ga re na kitso le kelello. Nakong eo ba ne ba nka lehatshe bo bontata rona mogolo. Go na le dintho tse nnyane tse ba di sebedisitseng dipili go thetsa bontata rona mogolo ka nako eo, and ga gona motho a ileng a ba botsa gore ha ba sebedisa dintho tse go amogela bontata rona lehatshe. Jwale ha itlha nako e tshwana le e ba setse ba botsa gore re tla dirang ka lona. A ke re mogolo bontsi ba batjha matsatsing a jwale ba setse ba na le kitso ka temothuo. Ga gona se se thata sa gore ga lehatshe le boela mo go rona re tla aga di-shanty re tla tshameka ka mobu ko woteng e ke tswang ko go yone ka lebaka la gore lehatshe le ikadile ga re nka lehatshe re lefa batho re buletswe case ya gore ga ra tshwanela lehatshe le ke la rona re tla le lwela go itlhella. Ke a leboga.
Interpretation.
My name is Bitumelo Oliphant. I just want to quickly say to the gentleman who said we'll meet next year as the ANC, blah, 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 but that we will meet in the elections when we vote next year in the elections. I stand here supporting the amendment of the Constitution, and I would like to appeal to the delegation here in Parliament that you should ignore the negativity from white people by trying to discourage us from amending the Constitution. They stole this land from us with minor things. However, this is our land and we want it back. Our youth have now acquired agricultural skills, which they will use. It's our land and we will never stop fighting for it. We want our land back.
Next speaker.
Lebitso la ka ke Victoria Ho. Victoria Ho. Ke mama ke support motion wa expropriation of land without any compensation. Mabaka ke ana magwa. Kana go ya rona re ntse re tla re hola bonkgono wa rona le bontate wa rona re ntse re ba shebile ba re hodisa ebile ba hodisitse bomme wa rona ba ne ba sa hlokomele gore hona le phoso ntse ba etsa ka ho re ruta ka ho re sotla ha re sa ya sekolong ba re tlosa mahaeng ba re isa hona masimong ao re tsamaye re lo hlaola re lo jala ba re ruta mobu ka jano le ba botsa rona hore na ha re nka lefatshe re tlo etsang ka lona re tlo etsa ntho e ba re rutileng yona ho etsa. Ntse ba go nka bo mkgono wa rona ba ba hlatsusa diwatšhine dipula dina ba ba palamisa dipere ba ba etsa mehlolo re ne re ntse re shebile empa re ne re sena mokgwa gore re ka bua hobane re ne re tseba ka lebitso le bitswang baafrikane jwale dintho kaofela tse ne ntse re di etsuwa re ne re ntse re ithuta hodima tsona gore go na le ntho e ha lefatshe le ka kgutlela matsohong a rona kapa la matsohong a rona batho ba batsho rona re nepahetse bakeng sa lona re tlo le sebedisa. Nna ke eme mona ke tseba mobu ho tloa bofatshe-fatsheng ba ona ke tseba kotsi ya ona ke tseba ha o senyelela ha o lokile ke ka o lokisa lefatshe la rona ha le kgutle le tla ho rona re se ke nna ga botswa dipotso tse ngata hore na re tlo etsang ka lona ke leboha EFF ka jeno ke ka lebaka la yona re kgonang ho kgotlela ke ka lebaka la yona re kgonang ho ema mona re bua after the 5th Democratic Parliament, nna ke qala ho ema ke kgotlela ho tloha dilemong tse fetileng ke nke ke ntshe se ka sefubeng sa ka ka hoo ke leboha CIC ka ho re fa monyetla wa go ka jenelana re tlo tseka lefatshe la rona ha re le tseke ebile ga le batla ha re tlameile go le tseka re tla tlameha go re nke dithunya tsa bona re be re ba bolaya ka tsona re batla lefatshe if ba sa kgone go dula le rona lefatsheng la rona let them go ha re mona ho tlo ba qaqisa gale re ba qaka ba re tshwara ba re bolaya ba re etsa mehlolo we are tired maburu ha le sa batle ho re fa lefatshe la rona tsamayang ke khutla hona.
Interpretation.
Mayor Victoria Ho supports the amendment of the Section 25 of the Constitution, which will allow for land to be expropriated without compensation. She says she remembers back in the day when she was a child, when, say, her and her other family members had decided not to go to school their parents would force them to go to the fields and go do some farming work there. So she says, people who came here to insult them and said they are unable or they won't be able to work on the land, they are just creating some story. She says she has knowledge of the soil, from the soil that is barren, that cannot be used for anything, to unfertilized soil, to soil that would require a certain amount of fertilizer. She can work the soil. She also indicated that she would like to thank the EFF for bringing back the land issue to Parliament so that people can get their dignity back. She thanked the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF for being the mouth of the black masses. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Amandla, my salutation, even in the Red Sea, will salute. Kitakala kahore. Ke kgathetse ke dipuo tsa batho. So, mona na mo re leng teng le motsotso wonana ha so re hakalo re tlameile hore re tlontsha ditletlebo empanyaneng ke ho tlo supporta ba etapelo ba rona ba diaparo tse khubedu hore re ba jwetse hore motion o le unkileng o re ya o supporta haholo fela ibile ya ntse re hopotsa batho hore ha rena dintho tse ngata ha rena eng ha ra tlameha re bolelle mang eng what ke mosebetsi wa bona e leng hore ba lo yetsa pele se tlameleng go rona re se etse ke hore re ba support re ba fe support hore land without compensation e tlameile hore e khutlele who the rightful owners, so that each and everything it le khone hore e be hantle ha so re ha re ba batle batho ba mare bona if ba kgetha hore ba tsamaye ba siye dikhiya la tseba ke tsang tsa di trekere hore re khone ho lo lema so then bontate ba ba seu rata rona kaofela without you we will never be called a rainbow nation. So you have to be here with us and everything we share amongst ourselves including you. So ke a leboha haholo ka motsotso le monyetla ona na o go fumaneng hore le nna ke ntshela ka lentswe. Amandla ay khutle naha
interpretation.
Ntate Thabang Lekgafula states the following. We are tired of talking, and we did not come here to complain, but we came here to support our leaders in red, to support them for the motion that they have started, that we need land expropriation without compensation. I support land expropriation without compensations. We are not here to get rid of anyone. We want to work together. Land must be shared amongst us equally. And for those who do not want to support us, they can just kindly leave the keys behind for us so that we can be able to operate the tractors to farm our land. We want our land. I support land expropriation without compensation.
That was the last speaker that took us to 4 o'clock, as we've said earlier in the morning. We'd like to thank the public, the media, officials of parliament, officials of parties, and honorable members greatly for your cooperation and for making this process having its integrity and fairness, justice that it's supposed to have. We closing the public hearings in leisurely boats. Bon voyage.